Hey there, guys. This is DDBeast. We got a special little Q&A video here, webcam style. So I got kind of a collection of random questions in no particular order. Some are about actual strategy and moving up, etc., bankroll requirements, stuff like that. And some are just silly and kind of interesting ones. But I think there'll be a lot to be gained from this. So I'm just going to be kind of run through these in no particular order, and should be some good stuff on it. Yeah, I guess go ahead and jump into it. So from D-Sticks on Bluefire, we get the question, you stated in a recent video that you've been playing in a live 510 PLO game. How's that been going? What was the toughest transition? How do you work on your PLO game? So yeah, I started playing PLO for the first time, just like a few months ago. I guess December, somewhere around there. That's kind of jumped into, it's actually a 5-5 game, but with ridiculous straddles all the time, so it plays huge. So I just kind of jumped into that game, which is kind of silly. Obviously you'd want to start like some smaller stakes ideally, but I don't really have that available at the moment, so I just kind of jumped into it. Plus, it's kind of the fishiest players around. So I jumped into that. How's it going? Over a few months, I'm like break even, which is pretty damn disappointing. But I feel like I've been running pretty damn well below EV. It's been pretty miserable run bad, and that was actually my toughest transition. Just getting used to the variance in PLO. It's just brutal. I remember when I first started playing it. People ask me, "Want to run it twice, run it 3 times?" I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Run it once. It's all gonna end up the same anyway. It doesn't matter. And now I'm like, please, 6 times, run it 6 times, for the love of God. So I'm kind of getting used to that, and it's kind of difficult playing, one table of PLO at such a slow pace, knowing that it could be months, maybe years before you actually realize realistic win rate. So that's my biggest difficulty to deal with. I do really enjoy it though, and sadly it's kind of hard to go back to Hold'em. Just like Hold'em on crack. I just want it so bad. But I've enjoyed playing it, and it's been something different. I feel like I've learned it pretty quickly. I definitely made a lot of mistakes. What I did to kind of get into it is watch basically every single Galfond video there is. It has to be hands down the best way to learn. There's other good authors as well. Everyone on Bluefire is going to do a good job teaching PLO. But those Galfond videos are pretty gold. And then you just kind of have to, get some hands in. Like, I was making some really new mistakes early on. Like, I would flop, like third nut flush. When we go to the flop like 7 ways and just think I have the nuts. It's a flush. It's so hard to make. And then I'd be doing stuff like set mining with random pocket twos and stuff, and not realizing how terrible the underfolds are and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I misread my hands on multiple occasions, which was really ridiculous. Cost me several $1,000s. But overall, I think I've gotten into it pretty well, and I feel like I've run pretty bad over the last few months. I think it's definitely a crushable game. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't been playing tons lately. Every now and then I get in it, have some fun. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted. Next question: have you participated in the WSOP in years past? I guess I have. I played in the last, I believe, 4 years in a row, 3 or 4 years. If so, how did it go? I've had a few cashes. I've busted the main event early every year. I've run terribly every single main event. It's been really disappointing. I haven't made it past day 2. Been really sad, but I guess it saves future heartbreak. I've done decently well in side events. I final tabled a 1K in 2010, I believe it was, and got 9th place, which was actually extremely disappointing because I just completely fucked up my bust out hand. Basically, the final table just started. I think it was it was like the 4th hand of the tournament. The exact hand prior to this hand, the chip leader had opened another deep stack player had flatted, and then 25, 30 big blind stack squeeze shoves, just straight shoves for 25, 30 big blinds, takes it down. So this is the very next stand, and basically the exact same thing happens. I've got pocket tens in the small blind or the big blind, I don't recall exactly. And those guys, the action opened from, I want to say early position, like under the gun +2 or something like that. Maybe middle position. Got a flat, one seat over, and then another seat over, got the squeeze shove. And I called it up with tens there when we had, I think, around 30 big blinds, which certainly was on the shorter stack. I mean, I think I came into it 7th or 6th place maybe. I think 7th place, 7th and 9. So I mean, I was definitely on the shorter stack, but with 30 big blinds there, and when I'm going to be flipping a lot of time, and given the fact that he had just shoved the hand prior, it makes it much less likely that he's doing it light, much less likely. So it was just an ICM disaster. It was a really horrendous play. I'm still salty about it 2 years later, but it was really bad. That used to be kind of a leak of mine, particularly in the live NTTs, just kind of gambling up too much, like getting in my chips in situations where I really didn't need to, whether it be making loose re-steal, re-shoves, making kind of hero calls, or making kind of like hopeless bluffs. Basically, I had a really bad habit of trying to win every pot, which doesn't sound like a bad habit, but in reality it really is, because there's definitely times in MTTs when you really need to chill out, lay back, and let some fireworks, stand on the sidelines as fireworks happen, and kind of get your composure. And I mean, you just can't play every hand. It can be boring to sit there for an hour or two. Sometimes it's got to be done. And I think that was a really big leak that I corrected over the last year or two. Just basically what it comes down is to really picking your spots and really knowing when to get on the gas and when not to. I think it's really huge in tournaments.